Hello, everyone. This is Yonks with REtoken, the real estate DAO, and bringing you season 0 community call. I can't believe it's already call number 9. So, hanging out here with Tyler, Mrs. Yonks, and also with Ryan, and super excited about just hopping in and getting into our agenda here this evening for our community call. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a screen and make that a little bit bigger here so that everybody can see that. So the introduction, I don't know if we're going to really need 5 minutes, but super excited what we've got in store here. It is October the 20th. We're working on, we just did during our last community call, NFT launch for TokenTown, Colorado, the HOA Destroyer, which we're looking to build a solar powered next gen subdivision here in Colorado. So anyway, wanted to kick it over to Tyler for a very brief, like 30-second introduction, and then over to Ryan, and then we'll get into the agenda here for this evening.
Thanks, Jason. So I am Tyler. I am the spreadsheets behind the hurricane of Yonks, and super excited to be involved with this project. We're building a next-gen solar community, and we are in the running for the American-Made Solar Prize, and we're getting ready for the DAO Global Hackathon, and just tons of exciting stuff happening in our community. So that's what I got going on.
All right, and over to you, Ryan.
Yep, just great to be here. We've been having some really great success lately. Been moving on a lot of different things. Really excited about the tokenization of real assets and the path that we're walking, making sure that we recognize all of the proper and real regulations that kind of haven't been laid out very well for us, but we're just trying to do our best to toe the line and do things the right way. So I'm excited to be a part of that process, and we've had some successes, and I'm sure we'll have some more. So I'm excited to be here.
Well, thank you for that, Ryan. And I see Amy just joined us. If you would like to do a real brief 30-second type of intro, Amy, we would love to hear from you if you're able to chime in. And assuming that she cannot, oh, go ahead, Amy.
I was trying to push on that button, it won't go. But anyway, I'm glad to be here today. Been a busy day, but I always feel like I'm with family when I'm with you guys. And I know it's been a long month or two for us, but we have done and accomplished great things. And I'm looking forward to more great things. So.
Oh, and she must have dropped off. So always love hearing from Amy. And yes, we have lots of great things coming up here at REtoken. So going back to our agenda, one of the things that's super excited about is we just got approved for our Gitbook, and we're going to utilize that for documentation. And we had a content strategy working group, and I'm going to circle back on that later here, but just wanted to showcase briefly, and it looks like Amy joined us. I'm going to bring her back up here real quick. So welcome back, Amy. I was just talking about how excited I am of our ability to utilize Gitbook. The Gitbook experience is a very clean and documentation experience. So that's one of the things, like I said, we'll be having some more conversation about as far as a working group coming up here. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink this back down here. And for those of you that haven't seen our calendar, this is something that we're being more intentional about getting events scheduled, and had that over on our document page 2 on the how to participate. And I'll just show that again here. We've got the link to the Google Calendar, and the main source for communication is still here in Discord. And I'm going to bring over our Discord server as well. So this is the events channel on our Discord. And if you are on the desktop, you can click on pin messages, and this will also bring you to the Google Calendar. So our next working group that we're planning is to do a deeper dive, like I said, about the content strategy, and improving onboarding is one of the things that was a big topic of consideration. So I'm going to get back to the agenda here real quick and get to the Trello board right here. So taking a look at the DAO business. So we have a couple of proposals, and I actually just created one that I'm super excited about. And this is one that we normally have an overwhelming support on all of the proposals, because one of the things that we do is utilize this temp check functionality. So looking at the voting and proposals channel on our Discord, and this is the most recent proposal, and I actually need to create the little emojis for voting on this. And this will be a unique opportunity for anybody that's on, and I'll probably leave this open until our core team planning session. But please show your sign of support on this. This is one that I'm expecting to, again, have a really strong support from. And if for whatever reason that the community says, man, we don't want this to go forward, then we'll just go back to how that we were doing things. This will be a big administration improvement for me. And the thing that I'm most excited about this is that it will put REtoken into the hands of community members substantially faster than it has been in the past. And that's one of the things that we're still working on, getting caught up from our monumental effort that we did on TokenTown. So I'm gonna ping everybody in here at REtoken, and this REtoken is a Discord role that exists. And after I ping everybody, please vote on this. Will reward 5 REtoken for anyone voting here on Discord through upcoming core team weekly planning session. And we have, that's the other opportunity besides the community call. And we've got this scheduled Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And I don't have an event on that, but it is on the calendar. And again, a similar type of format here that will be live streamed. And then we'll catch up the participants, the planning, the very brief core team planning. We'll hop on StreamYard and give us 10 or 15 minutes before we go live to prepare for that. So let me get back to the agenda here real quick. So I'm wanting to also, we have a very limited opportunity, and anybody, including those people that are on the StreamYard or on the live stream, we have a couple proposals open in Snapshot. I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen over here. So for those that aren't familiar with Snapshot, that is the voting and governance system that we utilize. And I'm going to make this bigger here. So I've got the top row favorited, REtoken DAO, and then we also have TokenTown Colorado and TokenTown. So TokenTown, we have two, and I'm not going to go into details what those purposes provide. So we're talking about REtoken, and you can also do a search REtoken, and right here is where we're at. So these are the two that I'm talking about here, that we only have a limited, like literally the way that I scheduled this was that the proposal, the voting would close at the conclusion of this. So looking at an RIP, that's a REtoken improvement proposal. So this is a very important DAO milestone for us. And this is where we're updating the Articles of Organization with the Wyoming Secretary of State to switch it from a member-managed entity to an algorithmically managed entity. And Snapshot is exactly how that we are executing on that algorithmically managed. And looking here, you can see where we did the Discord thread, and I'll bounce over there real quick to give you a little better perspective of what that looks like here. Just scrolling back. So that was this one right here, and also in the Discord thread included a tweet with the screenshot of the articles of organization so that you could see what that actually looked like. And here is the verbiage that we have over in the snapshot proposal. I'll bring that back so it's a little easier for you to see. And I'm going to scroll right down here because this is the section that it talks about the verbiage that we'll actually be filing with the Wyoming Secretary of State. And this is the paragraph that we'll have to mail in after this closes, and probably be dropping that in the mail tomorrow at the closure of this. So here's again the opportunity. We've only had 3 people out of our community of people vote on this. So if you haven't voted, please make sure to do that. And welcome back, Ryan. So I was just saying that right now, only 3 people on this snapshot proposal have voted, and it's closing here in 33 minutes. So that's one of the things that we'll probably be working to. And we have a proposal that we still need to circle back on here with the UMA project on the KPI options. That's one of the things that we're looking to create an incentive measure for the voting on our snapshot proposals. So anyway, like getting back to the other agenda here. So that concludes our DAO business, and taking a look at how doing on the time. Not doing too great because I had 5 minutes allocated, and we're already almost 15 minutes in. So already, though, I guess that it's worthwhile. Already spoke about the REtoken docs. So I wanted to take a pause and let our other people speak about what we've, whether it's Tyler or Ryan or Amy, any of these thoughts of what we've covered already as far as the current proposals that we have put forward. The one that, again, I'm personally most excited about is the one that just submitted here, literally before the call started, which is this one right here, getting REtoken to our community members ASAP. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking for a moment and let somebody else chime in here.
I'm super excited about the algorithmically managed situation, because anybody can earn REtoken and nobody can push anybody out of the way, or a small group of people can't take this thing over anymore. It's whoever's doing the work gets all the votes. So I think this is a great model for all the projects we want to run in the future, and what this looks like, and a good model for everything that we're doing moving forward. So I'm super excited about that part.
Yeah, I'm glad that you added a little bit more clarity for the algorithmic for folks. I know we had talked about it. I just know that it may not have been completely straightforward to everyone. I know some folks might have been looking at like this, understand the concept of algorithmic, whether it's the implementation of smart contracts, if that's what it was. And I felt like some folks might have thought that might be what it was, but it was more just like having this systematic laid out plan that we're going to adhere to, and utilizing some of the adopted and conventional and kind of generally used DAO tools that we've signed up to be on board with.
Yeah, and that's absolutely correct, Ryan. And the thing that was super exciting was that we put a lot of this DAO tooling that Ryan was referring to in place during the Gitcoin Decentralized Governance Hackathon that we actually ended up winning. We, as the REtoken DAO community here, the grand prize, and then we also won an UMA project bounty for KPI options, and I spoke about that earlier. But yeah, and one of the things that we'd actually never done was really put any type of who is the members that are managing the DAO, and this is one of the things that created the articles of organization. I'll feel more peace knowing that. And that's not the only thing, though, that we have to get taken care of, is we actually still need to do our legal operating agreement. That's one of the content strategy conversations that we'll have, depending on how much deep we go into our arm. Now, and I don't want to split that time up, because that's super excited about having the content strategy working group for improving our onboarding. But yeah, this will be very good. And like, one of the things here with our other TokenTown and TokenTown Colorado is that we actually have, with TokenTown, we were able to file our articles of organization with the Wyoming Secretary of State, learning what we had learned through the process with REtoken here, where on that, we actually filed those articles of organization out of the gate, because we were able to just had the process so streamlined with getting the social token created and then getting snapshot set up, that again, TokenTown out of the gate. Because one of the drawbacks of going back and on the articles of organization that we have to update is it's a $60 paperwork filing with the Wyoming Secretary of State. Besides, I got to mail in some paperwork and process like that. So the other big one is road mapping here, the regulation crowdfunding offering. And let's take a look at how many people have voted on this one. So this one has, we've got more turnout on that one. So there was a possibility that there was some not clarity as far as what the voting looked like. And again, that's one of the things that this proposal that we're putting forward here on Discord, this one right here, we're going to be putting more REtoken in people's hands as soon as possible. That's one of the things. Expect it here tonight. I'm going to just plant a little seed that I'm going to have like a super short airdrop live stream. It'll be later tonight when do take care of some other stuff, but I'll be doing the airdrop for whoever's participating, and wanting to take a pause on that. And let's actually take a look at our comments and audience participation. So I saw Crush hanging out here saying, "Hey everyone." Dax, hi all. We also have the Chad Blursday giving us some good vibes. So if you are in the audience, be sure to participate, because we do reward REtoken for live stream participation. Because one of the why do we do that? We love having fun, and that's one of the ways that we incentivize having fun. But most importantly is that there's actually some strategy to that as well, because platforms like YouTube and Facebook, they love the audience engagement. So I'm actually going to engage myself and say, hello, everyone. And this is, if you're curious to see what this looks like, I'm going to bring it open here, and it'll probably get a little bit of hello, everyone. Thanks for participating tonight. So we like having fun here at REtoken, and that's actually a good thing to circle back on. Here in the docs for REtoken, we've got the REtoken policy. This is actually also included in the Genesis proposal for REtoken, and I'll circle back to that, but wanted to highlight why that I brought up the REtoken token policy. First line right here, check this out, everybody. I'm going to make this even bigger so that you can see it. REtoken is for fun. We love having fun here, and participating on our live streams and in the fun community activities that we have planned is one way that we do that. So anyway, since I spoke about it, let me just show you the snapshot. So people that aren't familiar with snapshot, and I'm just going to do the search here for REtoken. And the Genesis proposal is Genesis. That's our first one, and it's got a lot of details in there. And I'll make this full screen so that you can see it, as far as some of our missions here, what we're aiming to be, and some of our founding principles. And this was, again, something that we put in place during the Gitcoin Decentralized Governance Hackathon. And one of the things that we're talking about that we've pipelined is a board of stewards, and then talking about our voting and some working groups, and then the token policy again. And that's our very first proposal that we did in Snapshot. So getting a little historical there, because but it's still very relevant because it was super fresh, not done too long ago, because we are a super fresh DAO. So getting back to our agenda here real quick, and let me see if I lost my window. Might have to do a new one. So anybody else want to chime in here real quick? I've been chatty yonks here, as I usually am.
Brooke is excited to see you in the TV and keeps leaning into the computer. So just so you know that your daughter's a fan of this podcast.
Of the live streaming. So I have our agenda back open here. So going down to, oh, and here's a comment from Mrs. Yonks. Congrats to REtoken for switching to algorithmic management. So looking again at our agenda here. So one of the other things that we like discussing is upcoming opportunities. And these are, whether they're opportunities internally or externally, I am going to be putting forward a poll for everyone to vote in the next upcoming working group. And I had that, spoke a little bit about that already. And this one is super excited about. We've already got experience not only participating in, but winning. And this is the incorrect link right here. I can tell. I'll fix that later. But the Gitcoin DAO Global Hackathon, I don't even know if I've personally joined that myself. And let me actually just click on this on board link right here. And let's see. Look, I haven't joined it. Let's actually do that, because it's super easy if you're signed into your GitHub account. I mean, that was literally how easy it was for me to join. So super excited. Look at all the sponsors on this. And to put things into perspective, when we participated in the DGov hackathon, I think there was 8 participants. And the thing that's even more exciting about this is that we may have the opportunity, because not may, but we could potentially participate as a different project to get some more like TokenTown, for example, which is TokenTown has its own DAO. So I'm going to do some, and I would encourage everybody else here too that is actively engaged in a DAO in any capacity to join the hackathon, take a look, and encourage you to participate. It was a fabulous experience for us. And that's one of the things that here in REtoken, this gets fired up, I believe, on October the 25th. So we've got our, I'm going to actually switch to that here real quick. And I think I was in, yeah. So make this a little bit smaller and go back to our calendar over here. So our core team planning session is on Sunday the 24th. So that'll be fabulous. So between now and Sunday, this is when we can really get an understanding here with some of the core team at REtoken and get a strategy together on how that we want to plan that. And I'll put some ideas together myself and come prepared for the core team planning on Sunday. Lots of opportunities to engage our community and hopefully win some more Gitcoin hackathon bounties. So anyway, getting back to our agenda, the other opportunity too is GitHub Universe. We've already have a strong, and let me actually show you our GitHub organization for REtoken DAO. And this is some of the stuff that we utilized for our, like the protocol info is our page on, and let me make this a little bigger because it's probably a little hard to see here. So this protocol info is the setup that we did for boardroom info. Again, this is Boardroom was the sponsor for the Gitcoin hackathon, and the REtoken project is listed on here. And one of the things that, and this is a good segue into the Boardroom, is that they've got a scribe program, and I'm going to bring open this because if there's anybody else that's interested in, and I would say more summarizing, and this is a solid piece of content that can be created. And let me actually do a search here in the REtoken inbox for Boardroom. And this is the newsletter that comes out by Boardroom on a weekly basis. And this is the DAOs that have the scribe program. And this is something that I'm going to personally go through so that we can have our DAO better represented in this weekly newsletter, and then also just be better Boardroom DAO participants in the project that we spun up. Because as I'm personally getting more engaged in other DAOs, we have also created other DAOs like TokenTown. So dashboard or Boardroom is functionally a dashboard that makes it easy when you're participating in multiple DAOs, where you can kind of have a nice pane of glass as far as what's going on in that particular DAO. So we'll be talking more about that, and I'll share my own experience with that. And if anybody is interested in going through that journey with me, here's an opportunity where we can hold hands together and learn that scribe program at Boardroom. And again, position REtoken, the real estate DAO, for a professional level DAO that I know that we're capable of, and we've already demonstrated our capabilities on that. So does anybody have any thoughts on that?
I was going to ask a couple more questions. Maybe I don't know if everyone. I know I'm particularly not super in the know on what the scribe program is, or maybe even what a scribe is.
Hey, and Jason, can you take one step back and just explain what Boardroom is and what their role is? Because I think a lot of people new to DAOs don't know. Just 30 seconds, and then Ryan's questions I think are really important.
Yeah, and let me just go back because it's more of a dashboard, and I don't know if people are familiar with the concept of dashboards, but like more easily seeing what's occurring. And let me make this full screen and make it a little bit larger here. So and I haven't used Boardroom a lot myself. We do have our project listed, and like having a nice pane of glass, search for projects, REtoken DAO. So like here on our project page, and like right now, calendar, for example, this shows you when the proposals, and this has a snapshot integration. And I don't know if there's an integration capability. So like here you can see the calendar. So I opened up those REtoken improvement proposals, the ones that are still open right now for literally 15 more minutes that spoke about earlier during the call. And it sees you you can see when they went green and when they went red. So like this type of an event, a community call, is definitely something that we would want on our calendar. So the opportunity to more easily see what's going on in a nice pane of glass, and again, just have a better understanding on the DAO and looking at the treasury and voting. And then like going back to the email that I showed you here, that's the snapshot. So let me show you like Radical. Radical is a tool that we spoke about in our community call. So let me do a search for Radical, because they have a different, some additional details. So like resources right here. Our project doesn't have resources or weekly updates. So this is something that would get added as a component of the weekly update, or the being in the scribe program. And I can't remember if there was here on Boardroom, on REtoken, I'm just doing the search here. I don't think that I spoke of that over here, But that's one of the things on the DAO hack that I mentioned a tweet on, and since that we're talking about it here, I'm going to include this in the community call folder over here, Ryan, and ping you on that. Links to boardroom scribe program and a tweet.
Hey, Jason, did you see that comment from the Chad? Also curious about the scribe program. Is it submitting on the boardroom newsletter?
Okay, cool. I'll blurs, and I'll just do ping the core team on this. Because the better that we understand it, you know, like that is an easy piece of content that we could put out on a weekly basis that would potentially circumvent our need, for example, of doing a newsletter. And I don't know, and we'll have a better understanding of what boardroom really wants to see in that. But here's those links right there, and I just pinged in the community call on that. So. But that's I think again a good opportunity for getting some additional eyeballs on our project too, because you can see it's a pretty short list. Like, what is this? Maybe a dozen, 10 DAOs that are currently, and I don't know what type of distribution that Boardroom has on their Substack newsletter, but this is a good newsletter too for those people that are interested in DAOs. Any other thoughts on the boardroom scribe program? And here's that comment that you were talking about there from the Chad in YouTube, and here's Amy back in here and also in YouTube comments.
I love it. I'm super excited to get more things in one place because we have so much going on, and I think it's easy to get lost sometimes, especially if you're new. So I think boardroom will be a really important tool for us.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that will, I think, get cleaned up in our onboarding, getting that process dialed in there as well. And that's, again, our next upcoming working group. So, but to keep on track here, and we've only got 10 minutes left of our community call and wanting to do a good job staying on track here. So the other opportunity is the GitHub universe, and this was a session that I was particularly interested in. And let me show you here. It's managing a GitHub organization, tools, tips, and best practices. And the reason that I was interested in this is because we like implementing best practices here. And just recently turned on the GitHub sync with our docs, which is Gitbook, and you can see over here I've got the this on the REtoken DAO on GitHub. So going back again to GitHub Universe, I would encourage people to take a look and see if there's any things that are of particular interest. I'm not sure how much on Friday, October 29th, I'm going to be able to participate. It is a 2-day event, but I've got these links on here. And there's also a link, like one of the other Trello boards or lists that we have, and I'm going to zoom this out a little bit or reset this. One of the other Trello lists that we have is an events external, and that's the one right in the middle. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here so that you can see events external. So we've got GitHub Universe, LA Blockchain Summit. This is another free online event. They went strictly online here with the ongoing COVID concerns. And then the other one too, Opportunity Zone Expo. And not going to go into detail on that. Tyler and I will talk more about that on the upcoming core team planning session on Sunday at 3, which we've got here on the Trello card, and I already have that on the Google Calendar as well. So going back to the agenda that we've got here, running out of time, so let's see where I left that off. So TokenTown, founding citizens. So we've already talked a little bit about that, and we're going to keep on talking about that because it's a super exciting project. TokenTown, the HOA Destroyer, and we're looking to really we will build a next gen HOA, functionally destroying the HOA model as everybody knows it from top to bottom, inside and out. And we're taking a community first approach, like what we're doing here with REtoken. We're taking a community first approach on the more complicated subject of real estate tokenization. And the way that this is a community first approach, when you think about how HOAs are built, most of the time the HOA or the subdivision is already getting built, and there's no sense of community that occurs before you potentially make one of the biggest purchases of your entire life, buying a home where you'll live. And then we're taking, with TokenTown, with this founding citizen, we're doing a community first approach, a skin in the game dynamic, and you can see here kind of goes into some details. The founding citizen benefits and parameters. This is the same thing that we tweeted out when we agreed upon what these initial bullet points would be. And then as these founding citizens get established, they'll operate in their own DAO under TokenTown Colorado. You already saw that on Snapshot earlier. So keeping on with the agenda here, this is the other opportunity that wanting to very, very briefly plant the seed about, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here, is impact investing. So that's one of the things that super excited about with real estate tokens and the tokenization of real estate is the opportunity and the smart contracts for the security tokens to incorporate an impact investing component. And one of those things that we're looking to do that with is triple win DAO, 3-win DAO, win-win-win. That's one of our founding principles. Already showed you in our Genesis proposals that we want to be intentional here at REtoken for creating triple win situations. And one of the things that we have on our roadmap, and I'm gonna digress momentarily because love looking at the visualization of our roadmap over here, and I'm gonna bring this in a new tab real quick. And we already spoke a little bit about the our regulation crowdfunding that we're looking at putting on here. And that's one of the things. We don't even have a list yet for Q3 of 2022, but we will here as soon as the voting closes momentarily. So we will be adding, doing a regulation crowdfunding offering for REtoken in Q3 of 2022. So where I was going with the roadmap is that we've got on here launching a REtoken virtual summit. So instead of just doing our own event with us and the opportunity of utilizing various tokens. I mean, we're a tokenized community. We're doing a founding citizen token NFT for TokenTown, Colorado. We're wanting here to invite other people in the crypto community, DAO participants, other fans of social tokens, of security tokens, like our friends over at STO Market. They just recently announced here within the last week their plans of doing their own regulation crowdfunding security token offering. So this is something that we're looking to do via Token Summit, is an event specifically surrounding tokens, and not exactly sure what that's going to look like because this is like some very, very, very preliminary conversations, but we're looking at doing that through its own DAO. So Token Summit will be its own DAO, and you can see kind of got that pretty clearly indicated here, and we're going to have more conversations about that. Already put that for some initial, and that is again to fulfill our roadmap item of, and it's super big, so I'll click on this card here, launching a virtual summit. So very, very excited about utilizing some virtual summit technology and seeing how that we can incorporate that. And who knows, if the desire of the people that are coming together to create this event want to do an in-person event, you know, nothing's off the table. So very, very preliminary on that. The other thing that we're going to start having some conversations about here in the upcoming weeks, and we've already started having some conversations about that, is our home co-op, and that's the letter R co-op. And we did recently obtain this domain, and that's another DAO opportunity. And one of the things that very exciting, and this has come out of an opportunity of our experience with founding citizen situations. And Mrs. Yonks and I are huge fans of cooperative housing. And one of the things that we were originally looking at doing is having this be a crypto house. And now what we're looking at doing is having the crypto house just be managing the crypto mining operations infrastructure. So really what we're expecting to see in TokenTown, Colorado, and hoping to see, is a whole subdivision of our home co-op, or our homes, the letter R, home, our homes, that are also crypto houses. So it'll be a cooperative housing dynamic, and that'll of course be up to the founding citizen. That'll be one of the benefits that these TokenTown Colorado founding citizen holders will be able to decide, is what type of situation that they want. This will all of course have to fall under whatever local or regional regulations exist for housing or subdivision creation, zoning regulations, all that other stuff that will be conversations that occur through TokenTown, Colorado. So anyway, those are two projects that we're really looking to spend more conversations on, and also the conversations that are going to continue to move forward on TokenTown, Colorado. So the final thought is, and don't have too much more time here, is I'm going to create again a poll for when it'll be best for everybody, because this will be the best opportunity for new people to get in and participate in REtoken. Because why do I say that? The reason why is new people will have the best experience as far as how that their onboarding was with REtoken. And that's one of the things that we want to improve. And we would love to hear your thoughts and inputs on that. And I'll create a poll for what time here over the next couple of days. It'll be Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and I'm only going to create one option for each of those days. So it'll be 3 options to choose from, and then whatever one wins by like maybe midnight tonight. So it'll be like a 6-hour window to get your vote in, and I'll ping everybody to give everybody a chance to vote. But I see it's on the hour. I want to open it up for some final thoughts from the rest of our live stream participants here. So over to you, Tyler, and then I'll let you kick it over to somebody else for some final thoughts.
Yeah, thanks. I love everything that we're working on. So I think it's all super exciting. And the CEO of Crowd Create is already starting to reach out to us saying he loves our community so much. He already would like some advice on making his community as vibrant as ours. So thought that was really great feedback, and just super excited to keep building this thing moving forward.
And who are you kicking it over to, Tyler?
Ryan.
We're just doing some final thoughts before closing out the community call here today, Ryan.
Yep, I appreciate that. I just switched to a really bad connection. I hope y'all can hear me. I just appreciate the facilitation as usual from Jason and Tyler, and appreciate Amy joining us up here. And look forward to hearing more about some of these new upcoming ideas, our home and the OZ DAO.
Well, I didn't even talk about OZ Fund DAO, but that's definitely something that we're going to be pipelining out of necessity and opportunity for TokenTown. But yeah, the token summit is one that mentioned here, and that again is to fulfill the roadmap item for increasing the visibility on real estate tokens. But over to you, Amy, for any final thoughts for our community call before we bring it to a wrap here this week.
Can you hear me, guys? Because I don't know if this thing is working for me. Okay.
Loud and
Great.
clear. Thanks, Amy.
I'm just looking forward to what's in store for us. It's getting a little bit more complicated, and my StreamYard is not working too well, but I know I can always ask somebody if it gets too complicated for me. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to where this is heading, and just willing to work with everyone. Thank you.
Appreciate your inputs and comments as always, Amy. And one of the things that I will try to do is to do a visual aid for making because I know sometimes a picture paints 1,000 words, and that's the thing that is most exciting about this, is that there's so many opportunities for people to hop in and contribute, where we're solving real world global problems here. The affordable housing crisis is a global problem and a global opportunity, and I don't think that there's one solution. It's going to take a whole army of solutions to really adequately address that situation. So anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. This is make sure that you subscribe, whatever live stream channel that you came in on. And again, one of the things I'm looking forward to doing is going to be doing an airdrop for everybody that participated in the community call. And that's just so that we can do a better job staying on top of the REtoken distributions, and then going to be working here over the next couple of days to get caught up for our TokenTown. So if anybody is interested in helping to assist with some efforts on that, feel free to reach out to me or Mrs. Yonks via DM on Discord, and we can help facilitate that, because that's one of the things that we're committed to, is creating solid documentation on procedures and stuff like that, as far as so that we can consistently operate, whether it's me or somebody else on our core team that's executing the distribution of corporate treasuries or DAO treasuries here. So thanks again, everybody. And the next, I'll stay tuned for that poll. I'm going to fire that up here literally at the close of this, as far as the content strategy working group, where that'll be the second working group on content strategy, where we're going to primarily focus on onboarding. And again, huge opportunity for everybody, including people that are very new to REtoken, that are wondering, how can I participate in REtoken, the real estate DAO? But this is Yonks. Community call number 9 is now in the history books, and super excited. Love what we're building here.
Good job, babe.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thanks.
Good night.